Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that has another identity, and welcome back to another episode of Fallout New Vegas Old World Blues. In the last episode, we finally met Dr. Mobius, and he's not the evil guy that he seems to be. And I'll explain it in a second, but before that, just want to say I hope that you can hear me a bit better. I have a new microphone, so I'm still checking out things, but I always have audio issues, so I hope that with this microphone we have less audio issues and it cuts off a bit less. I had a very cheap mic and this one is a bit more premium. So set it up with some new filters and everything, and it seems to be recording alright. I might like clip a few times because I see that it's maybe a bit too loud, but I'll check it out after. I think it's gonna be good. So like I was saying last episode, we finally met Dr. Mobius, and he turned out to not be the evil, cartoonish kind of evil fella that he is. And now he sent us on a mission to speak to the other doctors that we met in the beginning.
Unfortunately, before we get... Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, we would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I ran...
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be there. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it.
I could use to attack the think tank.
That will be difficult. It would be like fighting and they have an arsenal of vivisectors, brainial beams, and a rather nasty ray that can make your atom. If you could survive those... Although, I doubt killing them would do anything except make you feel better. Oh.
Anything I could do to stop them that doesn't require violence?
Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity.
I like to make the effort.
Well,
in the beginning, so the other kind of like brains attached to screens kind of thing. Cool setup, bro. Because apparently the thing that was happening, can you like not come in between my speech? It always like gets me out of the thing I want to say. So apparently if we actually examine the story that happened thus far, what happened is that we woke up and we were lobotomized, remember? So we talked to these doctors, and these doctors say like, oh yeah, we want to give you your stuff back, but your brain was taken away by this evil guy called Dr. Mobius. He's very evil. He has these robo scorpions, and he's undermining our work, and he's just all out evil, so you have to like take care of him. And then they send us on a mission.
Might listen to my voice. It denominates me to ask, but we need your help. In most probable of probabilities, our enemy, Mobius, has your brain. This is not good. He will most likely come after our... We want you to stop him, somehow.
So it all looks good. We do all these missions, we do all these things, thinking that Dr. Mobius is gonna be some evil, you know,
oh my God,
cartoon villain type thing. But then we find out that he's actually just a normal guy, and what he has been doing is he has been keeping the other scientists busy, because the other scientists are not evil per se, but their experiments kind of, they live for science, right? So they only do experiments and they don't really care about anything human, right? They do anything in the name of science. You can like also look at like, you know, it's an ethical dilemma. Maybe you look at people like Oppenheimer and think like, you know, he created the bomb, but it was what cost, right? So it's a similar scenario as they like, we have met people who were stuck in camps, like Chinese residents that they called communists, but they were human beings that were just stuck in there. They have bombed things, they have done all kind of things, and Mobius has been keeping them here and keeping them busy with his robo scorpions so that they cannot get out and they cannot escape. Wait, Sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions, issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. There's some reason for it. They have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world. Sense of time. I reprogrammed their chronometer. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but... And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion.
If you lobotomize the think tank, then why would you terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they... Without something to distract them, make them afraid... Then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived.
But there must have been other signs of a larger world.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micro-magnifier. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then the... See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless...
And so that they cannot go out into the Mojave wasteland and hurt everyone. So that's pretty much the story of World War Blues that is, you know, is finally has come to our understanding too. So now, our task is to talk with the other doctors. I said I didn't want to straight out kill them, because that's not really, I guess, the kind of character I created. It's not like, my guy is not like, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, kill everyone straight away without even giving him a chance to speak, right? So we're just gonna go to the big mountain thing, and then we'll just talk to them, see what they have to say for themselves. Now that kind of, the cat is out of the bag, or how do they say that? Put the fries in the bag. So yeah, let's have a look. So we go to the think tank. I'm just gonna fast travel there. What quest do we have? We have two. Oh. I guess we have nothing to do. No quest for us. I don't know why it's glitched. Hello? Is it now fixed? No, it's not. We have no quest anymore. We're free forever. So there's... We can get our additional spine back. Our normal spine back, I think. 12 body parts. I don't know if I want to do that. Well, I can't. I can, but why should I? Otherwise the quest will not go away, I feel. Like we can do our spine. Your spine is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your torso can now be crippled again, but your strength and damage threshold bonuses have doubled. Why am I over and crumbled? I'm not.
You require some additional...
Yes, can you give me back my heart? He lost the heartless perk. Cardiac arrest perk. Your heart is back in your body, but the advanced technologies remain. You're less resistant to poison, and robots are only somewhat confused by you. 20% less likely to score a critical hit now. But on the bright side, healing items are twice as effective. That's good. That's like better for stimpaks, right? They count as camps, I think, right? Alright, so that's everything. Did that like restore the quest log? No, not at all. I don't know why it's not working. I wasn't gonna reload, but I know for now what my quest is. We just have to talk. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this for once and for all. I don't know. Am I prepared? Are they gonna shoot me out? Because I don't have a lot of ammo. But yeah, I guess... like, let's just talk with the auto dog one more time. Dr. Klein. Oh, here they are, all propped up, huh? I have learned the terrible truth, Dr. Klein. You no longer control me. Mobius has told me everything about you. And your gang. Your gang of mad scientists.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot... And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place.
You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brains of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
There's plenty of medicine to pull off that stunt. We cannot do it.
Stunt.
Alright. Mobius and I talked it over, reached an understanding.
You are lying. No, you are not. Your heartbeat, perspiration, all excessively confident and sure of yourself. Why would you reason with that maniac? He'll destroy us all!
Maybe you should confer with your colleagues first.
Nonsense! Confer, colleague...
Dr. Klein, I must intersect.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect.
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism breathing in and out.
Gala, these vocalized pauses are unlike...
Klein, are you sure we've calculated all the combat probabilities here? Plus, you know, we haven't had a COMBAT drill in forever. I don't think we could form a tactical attack triangle if we wanted to.
Releasing the WOMBAT was not my plan, oh, so get off my voice...
Silencing opinion.
I'm still a bit scared of that one.
Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit What is wrong with you? You sound brain scrub.
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe.
What?
Why am I even listening to you fools? And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and z together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5. Like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist.
Penises? Sounds to me like your math is wrong and the odds aren't good.
Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender.
That's funny. It's not a democracy, it's a research facility, and over half your colleagues dispute your findings. Yeah, ever heard of peer-reviewed, buddy?
You dare use logic against me?
I do. Here's the deal. I'm not going to surrender. You are.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves.
You can still do that. Here. Quietly. For me.
For you? And for science? I have a strange... Very well, partner. The think tank is at your...
And that's it. So that's it? What do they do now? They're good?
Thank you for what you have... I feel an odd emotion. Glad...
About these pylons?
Ask Boros. Mobius was involved in...
Alright, let's talk to Boros. Dr. 8. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. We just talked him out of it. Dr. O. Where's Boros? Are you Boros? Yeah.
The lobotomite.
Blindly operating on any poor animals lately?
Why, yes. Look at... I notice these results more and more now that I know to look for them.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But anyway, I guess that's it. So I have 2 quest markers, one for the sink. What is this one?
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Ah, so that's where it comes from?
Continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination
Yeah, it's a commies, dude. It was Xi Jinping.
Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O.
That's where they lived when there were people? I did not know that. But that is what that village was. That's like where they lived.
Dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
Rex and Roxy? Oh my
The courier,
god.
organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
I have Dewey Griffin in my brain.
Remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
So that's it then. Lost the brain work. You've gained the big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you're only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage vessel has improved by 10%. Minimum plus 1 DT. That's actually good. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave wasteland and the Big MT. To the Mojave or go back to Big MT for the Mojave. Simply click the transporter. As with any weapon, pull the trigger and away you go. Know that it won't work in interiors or in combat situation and is totally incapable of harming your enemies. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Huh? And now shut the fuck up.
Might I be safe in the assumption that matters with the think tank have been satisfactorily concluded?
Anyway. I guess that was Overall Blues. There's one thing I still want to do. I want to check out on my friend Mobius after I talk with after I talk with all the scientists, what he's up to. I just want to talk with Mobius. Is there any new dialogue now that I talk with the other guys?
I'm having the most peculiar...
No. There's no new dialogue. Then, goodbye, my friend. Stay safe in there. Don't take too much of those mentals, alright? Or mentats, how are they called? I don't even know anymore. But anyway. Let's go outside. I will use the teleport thingy. This one. Ooh, that looks cool. I guess we have to be careful. We shouldn't lose it because then you can never go back to Big Mountain. But I guess we have to sync as a player home, which is kind of cool. So you can always teleport there to trade things if we need to be. But yeah, let's try it. Oh. So that was it, huh? Old World Blues. We are back in the Mojave Desert. After such a long time, it feels very strange to be back. As an ending, I just wanted to give my 2 cents, I guess, on the DLC because we did spend a long time on it. So I'm gonna give a short review. I quite liked it. The only thing is, I felt like, well, it's kind of my first time playing it, right? So this meant that I didn't really know where the story was gonna go, and so I'm not good at catching things in the middle of a story. I always need to have like the biggest clue drop ever, and I'm like, so for me it was kind of hard to follow. But then at the end, when they explained everything with Mobius and I watched like a video or two about it, it was quite clear that the doctors were actually kind of like not evil per se as in evil characters, but like they were so caught up in their methodology and like science that they didn't care about like the human anymore. And I guess that's kind of the moral of this DLC. I thought it was cool. I just thought that most of it was spent on getting upgrades for the weapons. What I did like, actually, I was very frustrated that I couldn't like buy more ammo for like the big guns and stuff, but I felt like we actually, like that episode where we had to like drink a bunch of water because we didn't have stim packs. I thought that was actually one of the most fun experiences I've had in this DLC, just because you have to do some out of the box thinking and stuff, because you cannot just like, you know, snipe your way through everything and stim pack your way through everything like I normally would. So I thought that was actually cool. So yeah, I think actually I do think in terms of story it was better than Honest Hearts, which we played first. Yeah, I'm quite glad that I played this, and I'm now curious. I want to play through the other two DLCs. So we still have the one with Sierra Madre, I think it's called Dead Money, and then we also have the other one. I don't know what that's called. Lonesome Road, I think, actually. That we also have to play through. So we're gonna play through both of them before they're gonna stack up on everything again. I think for Sierra Madre you cannot really have things with you anyway, but I might just want to do some things. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey throughout Old World Blues. It's kind of funny. We started it 2 months ago, and a lot of things in my life happened in the last 2 months. I moved, and like the setup changed a bunch, so it was quite funny to see episode 2 and then see like the latest episodes. And now I have a new microphone, so I hope that in the future video quality and stuff will also be better. And there are a few more people joining in with the episodes, and I'm very thankful for that. So thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, it's time to go back out there in the Mojave Wasteland. We're back. The courier has returned.
Howdy, folks. It's Mr. New Vegas, and I have a good feeling about all of you listening. We've got some news for you coming right up. The death toll continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope, where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away